The dream of flight is one of mankind's most enduring. 2 days stand out above all others in the history of aviation. The first powered flight by the Wright brothers, and the journey that took man to the surface of the moon. Extraordinary moments separated by just 66 years. This is a dramatization of events as they happened on 2 days that shook the world. It is December the 17th, 1903. Henry Ford has launched his motor car company. Marie Curie has just received the Nobel Prize for her work into radiation. Emmeline Pankhurst is campaigning for women to have the vote. And in Kitty Hawk, North America, 2 brothers are about to put 4 years of work to the ultimate test. Dawn, the Outer Banks. 130 miles of saltwater marsh and desolate sand dune. Home for the last 3 months for 2 brothers from Dayton, Ohio. Impatient to get on with the day, Orville Wright is already up and out on the dunes. Before he and his brother can test their new machine, Orville has to make one vital check.
We certainly shouldn't complain of the place. We came down here for wind and sand, and we have got them.
Orville's older brother, Wilbur, is making breakfast in the wooden shed they've called home for the last few months. It's the same breakfast he's made every morning: eggs, dried ham, and hard biscuit. And he sincerely hopes that this is one of the last times he'll have to endure it. Both bachelors, Orville and Wilbur, run a successful bicycle business back home. Now they have finally completed work on a revolutionary new flying machine. Today, they plan to put it to the test. 1 mile away, and the local lifeboatmen have also got their eye on the weather. Nicknamed the graveyard of the Atlantic, the banks are notoriously treacherous, and winter is the worst time of year. Over the last few months, the Wright brothers have regularly called on the locals for help. Last night, Wilbur warned them to be ready to help again today. Orville is worried. The wind is 27 miles an hour. The last thing he and Wilbur want today is a gale. Will their machine work in such weather? And will whoever tests it survive? Time is running out. The brothers are frustrated. Having spent the last 4 years working on the problem of flight, they are desperate to see if their new machine works. But they also made a solemn promise to their father, Milton, a bishop in the Church of United Brethren of Christ, before coming out here. They said they would be home in time for Christmas. The journey from Kitty Hawk to Dayton, Ohio takes 3 days at the best of times. Today's already the 17th of December. All they can do is wait and pray that the wind dies down. Impatient with the enforced delay, Wilbur decides to take a look at conditions himself.
For some years, I have been afflicted by the belief that flight is possible for man. My disease has increased in severity, and I fear that it will soon cost me an increased amount of money, if not my life.
Wilbur's fear this morning is all too real. He has only to remember the fate of the man who inspired his obsession in the first place. Otto Lilienthal, the Birdman of Europe. A German civil engineer who had covered distances of up to 800 feet in elegant gliders made of willow and waxed cotton. Lilienthal believed man would have to master control of a flying machine if he was to successfully conquer the skies. Alas, Lilienthal's own mastery fell short of the mark. In 1896, he plunged headfirst into the ground and broke his neck. Still, even in death, Lilienthal had been a source of inspiration to the Wright brothers. Building a flying machine was the easy part. It was learning how to fly it that killed most early aviators. Outer Banks lifeboatman John T. Daniels is on patrol. There are some on the Outer Banks who hold that if the Lord had meant man to fly, he'd have grown him wings. But not Daniels. He's watched the Wright brothers with fascination and was expecting to help them with their new machine today. So far, there's no sign of activity from the brothers' camp. "9:15. Still, there's no respite. Of course, when Wilbur first came to Kitty Hawk, it was the wind he was interested in.
I chose Kitty Hawk because there are neither hills nor trees, so that it is safe for practice, and the wind is stronger than any place near home.